What's up, First Baptist? Hope you're doing well. I want to talk to you today just for a couple minutes about a single verse in the book of John, John 14, verse 15. It's where Jesus says, "If you love me, you will keep my commandments." An incredibly simple verse, not hard to understand, but really helpful and challenging for us. Now, first thing you want to understand here is that there's a bigger gospel context to this verse. So things don't just start with us loving Jesus and obeying his commandments. On our own, we would never love Jesus, right? We're going to love a million different things. We're blind to how lovely and glorious he is. But as John says in his letter, 1 John, he says, we love him because he first loved us. So because he loved us, and in love, he chose us in eternity past. In love, he came to earth to live a perfect life. In love, he died for us on the cross. In love, he rose again. In love, he intercedes for us. In love, he has sent the Spirit to open our eyes, to give us new hearts. And because of the ways that he has loved us and what he's done in love for us and done in us in love, we now love him. And as John says here, if we love him, then we will keep his commandments. Now, as simple as this passage is to understand, it challenges us in some pretty significant ways. First off, it challenges us on the level of affections. So imagine I was just standing there with you and I asked you, do you love Jesus? Do you love him? Do you treasure him? Do you find joy in him? Do your affections overflow for him? Right? Do you love him? Do you love Jesus? Now, we all have different emotional temperatures and expressiveness and all that, right? But there should be something in my heart of simple love for Jesus. Do I have it? Do I love Jesus? So it challenges us, one, on the level of our affections. Secondly, it challenges us on the level of our actions. If we love him, we will obey his commandments. There's a connection there. It will happen. So as easy as it is to say, oh, I love Jesus, and we can sing it, and we can tell other people we love Jesus, that must outflow. If it's genuine, it will outflow in our actions, in our obedience. And this is what I think Christians get into trouble with sometimes, is we deceive ourselves into thinking that I can say I love Jesus, and I even try to convince myself I love Jesus, but we're just blatantly disobeying him. I love Jesus, but I'm going to go sleep with my boyfriend. I love Jesus, but I'm going to just rip into people and insult people and treat them as less than human on social media. I love Jesus, but I'm going to just snap all day in impatience with my kids. I love Jesus, but, and here's the reality is, you can't do both. They're incompatible. To love Jesus means you keep his commandments. And here's what's happening. In that moment of my sin, my disobedience to Jesus, I'm not actually loving him. And if that's your whole life, then there may not be any love for Jesus. But at the very least, in that moment, I'm not treasuring Jesus when I'm disobeying him. I'm not honoring him and loving him. No, I'm dismissing him, disregarding him. He's not important. His words aren't important. No, I'm important. What I feel, what I want is important. These other things are important. I'm not loving Jesus if I'm disobeying him. And so it challenges us with regards to our actions. As Christians, a love for Jesus is ground zero for what it means to be his and to follow him. Well, that means I obey. So this is just simple Christianity is, okay, he loves me, I love him, and now I obey him. It's not hard, and yet it's hard to do, right? So this challenges us on the level of our actions. Thirdly, it challenges us on the level of repentance, okay? So often when we think of turning from our sin, we think of our actions alone. I didn't obey. I need to confess to God that I didn't obey and ask for forgiveness for not obeying him. And then I need to change. I need to ask for God's help to change and obey him next time. And this verse points us to a whole nother level of repentance, right? A heart, deeper level of repentance. To where my repentance isn't just on a behavior level. It's needed, it's true. But my repentance is on a heart level, on a level of my loves, right? So I'm repenting not just for disobeying, in my actions, I'm repenting for not loving Jesus in that moment, right? And so I'm, again, coming full circle back to him loving me. I'm trusting in his love again. I'm repenting, going to him. God, forgive me. Because of Jesus, forgive me for the way I have disobeyed Jesus, for the way I have not loved him, right? Thank you, and change me on both those levels. Change my loves in my heart. Teach me to love Jesus, and help me then to obey him from that love. So you can see all three of those levels, it changes us. It challenges us, both our affections, our actions, and then in our repentance. So hope that's helpful. Love you guys and praying for you, and I'll talk to you soon. Thanks.